Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is the Bitter Gardener, and this is my blue Java banana tree. And as you can see, the leaves on it look, well, the leaf, because there's only one leaf on it, it looks busted and disgusted. There's no use of sugarcoating it. But as you can see, I have a new leaf coming out. It's currently February the 12th, and we're getting some new growth. A little bit early this year, about 2 weeks early. But I wanted to show you guys the trick that I use, because I'm right outside of the growing area for bananas. I'm in Florida, but I'm in northern Florida, and technically you're not supposed to be able to grow bananas here. There's a guy down the street that has banana trees, and his banana trees look pretty bad because he didn't cover them. He just has them out there, and like I said, they look pretty bad. Now, what I do is I take a blanket, quilt, whatever you have, I wrap it around the stem of the banana plant. Then I just take some bungee cords. I just so happen to have a chain link fence right here, so I just hook it onto the chain link fence. But if I didn't have the chain link fence, I would just wrap it around really tight. Well, not really tight, but you get what I'm saying. Tight enough to where the blanket, quilt, or whatever you have won't move. It'll actually stay and protect the stem. All right. And what that does is, well, basically it protects the stem during the winter. And instead of having a plant that dies all the way down to the ground and you having to start over and it grows up and it looks pretty, and then the winter comes again and it dies down to the ground. With this method, if you're like in zone 9, I'm not sure about 8, but if you're in like zone 9, this should work for you, because it's worked for me the last 2 years. Now, granted, we didn't have that much of a winter this year, but we did have some weather down into the 20s, actually. And if I pull the blanket back, because the first cold snap that came through, it did some pretty good damage to the banana plant. The plants weren't covered at that point. Of course, it was after the plants received damage that I wrapped them up. But yeah, as you can see, the stem looks pretty bad. All right. Now, what's going to happen is the stem is going to look bad throughout the growing season. I mean, there's just no way around it. The stem is going to look bad, but as you can see, the new growth will come along and the leaves will replace itself. They'll come back by June and July, maybe even before that. Your plant will look the same way it did before winter. And hopefully around September, I'm hoping around September, maybe early October, I'll get some bananas to start growing. Last year I had bananas on my Manzano banana tree, well, banana plant on the other side there, and Hurricane Matthew came through and decided that the banana tree doesn't need to be here. So, but anyway, like I said, hopefully in September or October, I'll have some bananas on this plant, and we'll go from there. So once again, all I did was just wrap the banana tree with the quilt, blanket, or whatever you have, tie it up, make sure the blanket will stay, and when springtime rolls around, we're going to start from here instead of starting from the ground. All right, if you have any questions about the method that I use, please leave a comment. You can message me or whatever, and I'll get back to you. And other than that, I'll check you guys later.